Welcome to Intuitive Alchemy, the space where we turn cosmic and spiritual insight into practical, real-world healing. I'm Sydney, trained intuitive, energetic alchemist, and medical astrologer in training. And on Intuitive Alchemy, I get personal. We don't do surface level here. We go deep. No fluff, just the energetic shifts, raw stories, and grounded practices that actually change your life and activate your personal power. Now let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to Intuitive Alchemy. All right, you guys, we're just going to get right into it because Mercury Retrograde has been wild this time around. And I know that we have like multiple Mercury retrogrades every year, and some of them are more intense than others. Honestly, sometimes I don't even notice them. Like, I know that they're happening because I am an astrologer and everyone's always also talking about it. But sometimes literally the whole thing will go by and I'll be like, nothing really went wrong or anything like that. And then sometimes I like this current one, I'm like, what isn't going wrong? Like, literally, what isn't being affected by this? And so I want to talk about that today. And I actually did, on the very first day that Mercury did go retrograde, I published a post on my Substack. And it is a subscriber only post. There is a lot of juice in that post, and it's really just going through like health wise, how to survive and thrive in Mercury retrograde. Because Mercury retrograde, most of us know, like most of us associate it with like exes coming back into the picture and like communication mishaps or misunderstandings or technology glitches, which, like, yes, all of that is true, absolutely. But from a medical astrology perspective, Mercury retrograde also has a lot of influence on symptoms that you might be experiencing or patterns that you might experience or things that you thought you had previously healed coming back, and you're like, what the fuck? I thought this was over. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I'm just going to give, like kind of an overview and five tips or just things to be aware of or pay attention to. Even if you don't know what your Mercury placement is, or if maybe you do know, but you're like, I know what it is, but I don't really know what it means. And then I, of course, encourage you to go and read the full post on Substack because it is good. It is very good. And I just think that we need to realize like the things that we experience during these retrograde periods, whether it's Mercury or whether it's another, like a Saturn retrograde or something, it's not random. And so often, like, this is what I just like, I just wish everybody could know medical astrology, but we just think that these things are so random. We think like, oh my God, why am I just all of a sudden having all these random digestive issues? Or why am I getting why is my skin breaking out all of a sudden? Or whatever issue that you feel is popping up that it's not normal for you. It might be common, but maybe it's not normal for you. And you're like, okay, hold on. Why though? Why is this popping up for me? It literally could be something as simple as Mercury retrograde affecting your personal your personal Mercury placement. So first of all, I'm just going to tell you, Mercury retrograde, like technology for me, I don't know if this is like what everyone is experiencing. I would assume that it probably is, but technology for me has been completely just flatlining, like just glitching the fuck out. So I made a little list of all the things I've noticed over the last couple weeks since we've been in retrograde. Of what I have noticed has been happening, just like weird freak little things that literally weren't caused by anything that I did. And I don't think that they're caused necessarily by like just all of these different platforms just all of a sudden not working. Okay, so first thing, I've noticed that Instagram and TikTok are being wonky as hell. Like, it will take like 15 minutes to post a reel that's like not even that long. And I'm just noticing like captions are disappearing on like 2 or 3 of my posts. I post it, and then like even on one of them, one of my friends commented and was like, wait, where's the, cause like the information was in the caption. And so she was like, wait, where's the information? So I was like, oh my God, I literally put it in there. And so I had to go back and redo that. And this one really freaking sucked. Like, I'm still not really over this one, but I don't know if you're like me, but in my phone, like in my Safari, I have always like between 60 and 80 tabs open, just because like I don't want to lose it, you know? Like maybe I'm like thinking about buying something, or like there's a course I want to sign up for but I'm not quite ready yet, or maybe like there's, you know, like an article that I want to read, but I'm like, I can't read it right now, so let me leave it open so I remember it, or just things I want to save, you know, whatever, like logins for certain things like that I want to, that there's not an app for, stuff like that. And, you know, call me a scatterbrain, whatever you want to say, but that is just how I've always done it. And I've always had a lot of tabs open and I do it on my laptop too, but I have like separate ones going. And oh my God. So I just like was doing something on my phone, not even on the Safari. Like I think I was on like Instagram or something, or like the edits app, because I think I was editing a reel. And then, so I get out of that, I exit out of that, and I go to my Safari, and all the tabs were fucking gone. Every single one of them, completely gone. It was just like the fresh, like Safari, like open a new tab page. And I was like, oh my God, like what, why did this happen? And so, and like I shut it down, like I closed down the Safari app, and I was like, okay, maybe it'll refresh, maybe it will fix. No, it didn't. They're still gone. I don't even know what all I lost. Like there were so many things on there that I literally like couldn't even remember. But at some point I'm gonna be like, oh, that was on my tabs, and now it's gone, and now I can't get back to it. So that was super weird. And then I'm just noticing like a lot of websites or platforms that I use a lot are glitching, or they're giving me like error codes, or they're just taking forever to load. And there's been a couple times when I've gone to make like an online purchase and I have to do it like twice, because like the first time, like on Amazon, this has happened a couple of times. It will just be like, oh, your purchase didn't go through or whatever, like try again, sorry, something went wrong. And then I go and do it again, and then come to find out the first one did work. And so then I just purchased it twice. So luckily with Amazon, you're able to cancel an order, like if you just did it. So that's cool. And then let's see. Oh, my friend sent me like a voice note and I didn't receive it. Just didn't receive it. She had to resend it because there was nowhere to be found. And then I was getting my lashes done last Friday, and I like to listen to like an audiobook or a podcast while I'm doing that, because you know, you're laying there for like an hour plus, like why not have something listening to? And so I put my audiobook on. I was like all excited. I just started a new one, and I like have my AirPod. I only have one AirPod in because like I still want to be able to hear if she asks me a question or whatever. And I start it, and it just like stops, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes in, it just stops. And I'm like, okay, like did my AirPod die? Like, I don't know why it would have, because it was fully charged. Like, what's going on? And then, like, I just kind of was like, well, whatever. I can't do anything about it. Cause like, what, if you've ever gotten your lashes done before, you know, like once you're laying down and your eyes are closed and you're all taped up and everything, like you can't get up, you can't open your eyes. Like, it's just not that big of a deal. So I just was like, okay, I'm just going to leave it. And then towards the end of the appointment, I was kind of like dozing off because I'm in silence, you know, I'm dozing off. And then all of a sudden the book comes back on and I'm like, what? It's like startled me. And then it went back off. So I don't know what that was about. My AirPods are not dead and there was no issue. Like, I have no idea. Like, it was just Mercury retrograde. So there's just been all kinds of things like that. And then not even to mention just like communication mishaps, like even just between my partner Corey and I. there's been some, I don't know, what's the word? Not conflict. Well, I guess conflict. Yeah. Like there's just been some things that we've been working on, like communication wise, some things that were misinterpreted. And, I think that's normal, but I think it can obviously be like ramped up whenever, Mercury is the planet that controls communication. So when it's in retrograde, like that, it would make sense. I never have the whole, oh, your ex is going to text you, like blah, blah, blah. I never experienced that because I close doors whenever, like I don't leave things open. Like I have boundaries, energetic and like otherwise. And I'm not open. I'm not available for that. And so I think even Mercury retrograde doesn't fuck with me when it comes to like people reaching back out that are not anymore of my highest good. Like my higher self is just like, no, we are not doing that. But okay, anyway, so that's just my fun little crazy things that I've been noticing with technology and all of that. I'm curious if anyone else is experiencing this, because like I said, this is like nothing else I don't remember ever noticing a retrograde like this obviously and this strongly. And I don't think it's because I was expecting it. Like, I don't think it's a reticular activating system thing where I'm just like noticing it more because I expected to notice it more. Like, I truly am not someone, like I've written a post about this on Substack, but even though I am an astrologer, I'm not someone who's just like constantly paying attention to transits and like kind of almost manifesting certain things because of me expecting them to happen. I really just don't pay that much attention. And I do that for that reason. Like, I don't want to get a story or like create an outline or a story or, a narrative in my head about, oh, well, this planet is doing this, and so this is probably going to happen. Like, I just want things to happen as they will. I don't want to create it or manifest it, whether it's good. I mean, I guess if it's good, like that's a different story, but a lot of times with astrology stuff, it's like, it's not. A lot of times it's people saying like, oh, well, this is going to happen and that's going to happen and it's going to be hard and you might not feel good. You might be really tired. I'm like, I don't need any more like help being tired, Like, as someone who is healing from Hashimoto's, I don't fucking need any more urge to be tired or any more like external output like telling me that something is probably going to make me tired. Oh, dude, like I can do that all on my own. So but yeah, like I just don't pay that much attention. Obviously, I know the major ones and I know I pay attention from a health perspective, but not from a like horoscope, like here's what to expect today. You might run into someone you knew today. I don't use astrology like that. And that's, nothing against you if you do. That just doesn't really feel good to me. And it feels a little bit limiting to me, but that's just me. So anyway, now that I am really tuned into the medical side of astrology, I am just like, I got so curious about like, what does this actually mean? Like for our health, what could we experience? And on the flip side, what can we do to lessen that experience and to kind of, if not thrive, like hopefully thrive, but if not thrive, at least survive and at least just not be like totally miserable the whole time, because as we know, Mercury is going to retrograde. Like we're not going to stop that. That's not a thing that we're in our lifetimes. It's never going to stop happening. And so we really need to learn, especially with Mercury being one of the faster moving planets, like we really do need to learn how to optimize and work with it and not just be like, for a few months a year, be super negative and just like, blaming everything, which like, yeah, like it's warranted. It does cause certain things, but we also have a lot of power and we don't want to be giving our power away to things that are completely out of our control. So, all right. Let's talk about what Mercury rules, which obviously we know communication. I already said that. And it also rules technology. And within medical astrology, Mercury governs your nervous system, You already probably know that too because of my Mercury Medicine, Your Nervous System Codes guide. That is why I have Mercury being really the main focus, along with the moon, but really the main focus of you want to know how to regulate your nervous system. Look at your Mercury placement. It rules your nervous system. It will literally tell you, depending on what house it's in, what sign it's in your chart, it will tell you how you need to specifically regulate your unique nervous system. Okay, so it rules the nervous system. It rules your daily health routines, your habits. It rules your mind-body connection, which is obviously huge. It rules how your brain communicates with your body. And so when Mercury goes retrograde, it's not just like your phone glitching, although that's happening too. It's not just that. It's your entire nervous system. Okay, it's not just like, oh, this like my tabs got closed, but I'm totally fine. Like, actually, something I've noticed too is my nervous system, which I'll tell you in a second, like why I think maybe I might be feeling it a little bit more intensely, but my nervous system has been completely dysregulated for the last at least week. Like, I've just been like finding myself in kind of a state of fight. Like, I typically tend toward freeze, like freeze or fawn. That's kind of where I typically will go, but I am noticing myself like be in fight, and it's like just kind of this like hyper vigilance and this kind of like, I just am like popping off a little bit more than is pretty typical for me. And why I think that, and this can happen to anyone, but I'm wondering if it's impacting me a little bit more strongly is because my Mercury is in my 6th house. And so when I said Mercury rules your health, your daily health routines, well, the 6th house is the house of your daily health habits and routines. So it's like, bam, double whammy right there. So, okay. On the Substack post that I mentioned, which is, just a total survival health guide to Mercury retrograde, and it's totally customized to you. You just look up what your placements are, and I talk about all of that. So, I went into super depth in that post, but some things that you might be experiencing during Mercury retrograde in your physical body are digestive issues that seem to be out of nowhere. Like, it's not normal for you. Like, maybe you're super constipated, or you're like going to the bathroom a lot more than usual, or you have gas pains, or acid reflux, like just things like that you're like, this isn't really like my norm. Why did this just come out of nowhere? Could be Mercury retrograde. You could be experiencing insomnia and spikes of anxiety or anxiousness. I am experiencing, like I said, both of those. Like, anxiety, I very much associate with like the fight response. For me personally, that's how I experience it. Like, it's just much more reactive. Like I said, hypervigilant. I am also experiencing pretty intense insomnia, and I am a sleeper. Like, your girl loves to sleep. I love nothing more than to get in my bed at night. I say this to Corey all the time. Like, when we get in bed, turn the lights out, I literally am like, bed is my favorite place to be. Like, it just doesn't get better than my bed. Like, our bed is so comfortable, and I always have like the sheets clean, and it's just such an incredible like sensory experience for me. And I love a nap. Like, I just love sleep. And I have been sleeping terribly. I actually just got an Aura ring, which I love. So excited. Totally recommend. And so like every morning, you sync it, and you see what your sleep score was and what your readiness score for the day is. And this morning, my readiness score was like 67, and my sleep score was also in the 60s. So and it actually said, and we went to bed at like maybe 10:30 last night, and I woke up at like 7, but it said that I only actually got like five hours and a few minutes of sleep. And I'm like, what? That is not good. And I'm usually, like I said, like a really good sleeper. And I even have been taking like melatonin. I even got some ZQL because that stuff usually knocks me out, and it's like not doing that. It's not working. And so that leads me to believe that it is very, very much about Mercury retrograde. It's not, because nothing else in my lifestyle changed. Like my bedtime routine is the exact same that it's always been. I'm not eating differently. I'm like, nothing else is different. Maybe a little bit of stress, but like not crazy. And so it's like I said, it seems like it comes out of nowhere, but when you know what to kind of expect and what may happen, you can kind of like maybe even be proactive about it, which I will say, I honestly wasn't proactive about it. Like I still knew that these things could happen, but like, then I don't know. It's like I wrote the post and I like fucking forgot about it. And then like I started experiencing these things and I'm like, oh, well, okay. Some old things that you used to experience, like old health problems, old health symptoms, can resurface during Mercury retrograde. Your entire kind of like wellness routine or whatever protocol, like whatever thing that you do or routine habits that you usually have that usually work for you, could just like their effectiveness could totally just like go completely down, or they could just stop working altogether. You could have miscommunications with like your healthcare providers, which could lead to actual health consequences. None of this is a coincidence. None of this, like I said, is random. This is Mercury retrograde affecting your body. And here's what a lot of people don't know. I would say probably most people don't know this, and I didn't used to know this either. Mercury retrograde has 5 distinct phases, and each phase affects your health differently. So there's the pre-shadow storm, which some of us have heard of that. Like I've seen posts about like the pre-shadow storm, but like not as it relates to the body. It's always like more so as it relates to communication or technology or just things not working right, car issues, stuff like that. So there's the pre-shadow storm, there's the station retrograde, the deep retrograde, the station direct, and the post-shadow integration. And that's another one. I will say I've probably seen people talk about the post-shadow retrograde, and just the post-shadow integration. Like even once Mercury retrograde is technically over, you're still kind of within its energy for a period of time. But we just have to remember, like, this is not just for weird tech glitches. This is for everything, including our bodies, maybe even especially our bodies. And if you don't understand which phase you're in, you're going to keep fighting against energy that's trying to help you recalibrate. And so first of all, I should have said this in the beginning, but I want to talk about, so Mercury retrograde, like what does that actually mean? Like it is retrograding, it is regressing, like it's going backwards. And so if you think about, okay, so Mercury controls your nervous system, your daily health routines, your mind-body connection, how your brain communicates with your body, your digestion. So, okay, what then might that actually mean? So let's say your digestion's great. Your nervous system is regulated for the most part. Your daily health routines are on point. They're really working for you. You feel like you're making progress. Your mind-body connection is good. You are not just living in your mind. You're not just living in your body. They are integrating. They are communicating. And you're like, cool, I'm great. I'm doing well. I'm healing. I'm like making progress. And then Mercury goes retrograde. So it goes backwards. That's when you can see these things like just pop up. You're like, hold on. I thought I healed that. My digestive system was doing so well. How come I'm getting bloated all of a sudden? Or how come this food that I used to get irritated by, but then I healed it? How come it's now I'm sensitive to it again? How come I'm reacting to these things again? And that is because it literally, the planet that is in charge of all those things literally went backwards. And so therefore it can kind of take your health with it. And one thing also to know is it's not permanent, and that's a good thing. So any symptoms any like seemingly new symptoms or old, like a little regression that pops up in your health, first of all, I want you to not catastrophize it. If you're someone who kind of gets like health anxiety, or you like experience a new symptom and you just like go wild on WebMD or Chat GPT or whatever, Reddit, whatever your weapon of choice is, like whatever you do, I want you to not go crazy on that, because this is not something that you're like, you don't need to go schedule. You probably don't need to go schedule like this whole new lab order and, spend thousands of dollars because you're like thinking that you are now all of a sudden unhealed and all of the work that you've done is now null and void. That is probably not the case. And like, obviously I'm not a doctor. Do not, like, if you know something is truly wrong with your body or not right in your body, I want you to obviously like work with your trusted healthcare practitioner on that. But what I'm saying is I want you to realize that this is normal. It is to be expected. And, don't go to unnecessary lengths that are just not going to be super beneficial, because this will end. It always does. This too shall pass. And it will go back, and you haven't lost all of your progress. Okay. I promise you that. And I'm also saying that to me because my digestion has not been great. And prior to this retrograde, like my digestion was great. I said it a couple episodes ago, or maybe it was the last episode when I was talking about like microdosing tirzepatide. I said like my digestion is better than it's ever been. And that's true. Like I totally mean that. However, it's been a little iffy the last week or so. And, like I said, the insomnia, the anxiety, and I had anxiety. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder in college, and I was on medication for a short period of time. And that's just really not something, like at this point in my life, I haven't struggled with true, like just anxiety in years and years, like, thank God. And now it's just kind of, I'm noticing myself like just feeling anxious and, not able to sleep, not able to truly like relax and all of that. And if I were not aware that this is caused by this retrograde, I would probably be like, okay, should I schedule an appointment? Like, do I need to get an evaluation? Do I need to get a checkup? Like, am I not really, like, is my digestion not really healing? And like, I just thought it was. Like, no, it is. All of that is true. This is just a normal thing that I'm experiencing, and that I know a lot of other people are experiencing as well. So here's where it gets really interesting. Your Mercury sign, which is just, all it means is that is where Mercury, the planet, was when you were born. The exact minute that you were born. It determines exactly how the retrograde is going to affect your body. So I'm going to give you an example. If you've got Mercury in Gemini, this is what, I believe that this is what Corey, my partner, has, Mercury in Gemini. It means so Mercury rules your chart in a double dose kind of way. So you're going to experience information overload, becoming physical overwhelm. Your respiratory system might take a hit. Your coordination, your physical coordination might get scattered. You literally just cannot process all of the health information or just information in general flying at you. And so your body will start to short circuit. I need to ask Corey now, like, I need to ask him, like, are you feeling these things? Because I don't think he would obviously like he probably doesn't even know that it's Mercury retrograde, to be honest with you. And then, so another example would be like, let's say you have Mercury in Scorpio, where the retrograde can intensify your detox processes. So your elimination systems can go into overdrive. Things can get really intense. Your old trauma that is stored in your body and your organs and your different meridians can start to resurface. Now, this is a totally, totally different, manifestation or expression of symptoms than, like I said, with Gemini. And then Mercury in Cancer, like me, retrograde is going to hit your digestive system hard, can confirm. And that's because your emotional communication blocks shut down your gut. So your emotions or any kind of blockages that you have within your emotions or your communication, that is going to severely affect your gut. And that is something I've personally been noticing. And I said this I believe I said it in the last episode, but for someone having Mercury in Cancer, it is incredibly important to not be eating or consuming food or having a meal during a time of stress or like a really tense conversation, like a conflictual conversation, or during a fight, or just during a time where you feel super dysregulated. It is very important that you do not put things into your body during that time, because your body is not going to be able to digest it and like extract those nutrients. It's literally not. And probably what you're going to get is just like diarrhea, like, to be honest with you. So that is incredibly important to regulate before you go into like a meal time or something like that. So each Mercury placement has specific vulnerabilities, symptoms, specific protection protocols, and I go over all of that in the Substack post for all of the different Mercury placements. That will be linked in the show notes, and if you want to grab that, subscribe to my channel. It's only $8 a month to subscribe to my Substack channel to get posts that are super, super, super juicy, very packed full of information, very practical too. Like, this is not like, I love some woo, like you guys know, I love some woo woo, but I also love practicality. I am a Virgo Mars after all. I love to take action in a very practical, grounded, like earthy way. Like, I want you to be able to listen to my podcast, read my posts, like whether it's on social media or Substack or wherever. And I love for you to be able to actually take that and do something with it and make changes in your life that are actually going to like give you results, and not just like a concept that you learn about and you're like, okay, cool, that's really interesting, like insightful, but like, what is that actually going to do? Like, no, I want you to actually be able to use this information. Medical astrology is so amazing, but if you're not like actually looking at what it means for you, like as it relates to your chart and your placements, and like, okay, what would that mean that my behavior, like what would I need to change about my habits? What would I need to change about my life? What would I need to do differently as far as regulating my nervous system, or moving my body, nourishing my body, things like that. If you're not actually taking that and making changes in your life, then it's literally just kind of useless, like truly. So like I said, I'll link the post in the show notes, and you will get to know what your primary health vulnerabilities are during retrograde, Mercury retrograde. You'll know exactly how this retrograde is amplifying those vulnerabilities, and you will know what your personalized protection protocol is or should be. And you'll also know the hidden healing opportunity for your specific placement, because like I said earlier, kind of alluded to this a little bit, this is like, the purpose of it is actually for deeper healing. So, I mean, yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying. Like, who has time for digestive issues and tech issues? Like, truly. But if we look at it from a like transformative kind of alchemical process, which it is, we can look and see, okay, what is the deeper thing? What is the root here? What is the deeper issue that I am meant to, like, that is surfacing or resurfacing in some cases, that is resurfacing for me to pay closer attention to and heal, like, once and for all. So I'll go over that as well in the article. Mercury retrograde is not trying to sabotage your health. It is actually offering you more recalibration, more opportunity for recalibration, specifically for your Mercury placement. But you, of course, need to know what your Mercury sign is and how to work with it instead of against it. And so that's where I come in. Yeah. One more example. I'll give a fire sign example since I didn't talk about fire signs yet. So if you have Mercury in Aries, you might be getting some real headaches. You might notice like some serious jaw tension, like maybe you're clenching your jaw in your sleep or grinding your teeth. And this is because your quick fire nervous system goes into overdrive when communication slows down. So you're literally grinding your teeth from frustration when Mercury forces you to slow down. Like, fire signs don't want to slow down. Are you kidding me? Have you met an Aries? They don't want to slow down. That's their worst fucking nightmare. And Mercury causes that, especially if you have Mercury in Aries. Like, it's causing you to go backwards, to slow down. And that is incredibly unnatural for someone who has a strong Aries placement like that. So the mainstream advice would be like, back up your files, don't sign contracts, like, don't do anything legal, don't make any big like legal decisions or purchase decisions. Cool. Yeah. Like maybe, but what about the migraine that's been building for 3 days because your warrior energy, like your fiery warrior Aries energy, has nowhere to go? Like, what about that? What do you have to say about that? So again, that's what I talk about in the Substack post. Okay. So I'm going to give you 4 survival tips. Actually, it's 5. I'm going to give you 5 survival tips for everyone. Whether you know what your Mercury sign is or not, or whether you, like I said, just don't really totally understand, like, what does it mean to have Mercury in Aries or Mercury in Taurus or whatever, like, what does that actually look like? I'm going to tell you 4 survival tips regardless of what placement you have. These are like universal tips. Okay. Number 1, stop starting new health protocols during retrograde. That sounds kind of funny, like stop starting. It's like an oxymoron. This retrograde time is review and refine. It is not, let's try a completely new diet time. Like, let's start a whole new protocol. Let's completely overhaul our current movement routine and let's stop strength training and start doing yoga instead. Like, this isn't the time to like totally change out everything and start all these new things. I promise you, whatever wellness trend you want to start will still be there whenever Mercury goes back direct. I promise you. Okay. Number 2, double check all health communications. I mean, really all communications in general, but like especially all health communications. Reread your text to your doctor, your MyChart messages, your lab results, like whatever. If you are having any kind of correspondence with a healthcare practitioner during retrograde, you need to like really double and triple check that. Confirm your appointment times twice. Verify your prescriptions. Mercury retrograde is peak miscommunication chaos. So you might think, oh, my appointment was at 1 o'clock, but it actually might be at 12 and now you've missed it, So it's like stuff like that. It sounds basic, but don't discount that. I promise you, like, you want to double check these things. Okay. Number 3, support your nervous system like your life depends on it, because it does. So magnesium, you guys, mag-fucking-nesium. And when I say magnesium, don't go get like magnesium citrate. You're welcome. Like, if you don't know, magnesium citrate is a laxative and it will give you massive diarrhea if you take it like a lot. So when I say magnesium, what I really mean is either a magnesium complex, they make some of those, or magnesium glycinate. Okay. And I know there are like 4 or 5 different kinds of magnesium. It's hard. I made the mistake the first time, like years ago, whenever I was hearing all these people talk about like, oh, most people are magnesium deficient. Everybody should be taking a magnesium supplement, blah, blah, blah. It helps you sleep better. It helps your muscles relax, blah, 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 all these things. So I go and I get magnesium citrate because that's like what I saw at like fucking Target or wherever I was. And so I took it in the morning, which like also now I know, like I just typically take magnesium at night, but I took it in the morning and I went to work and oh my God, you guys, I had to leave. It was tragic. Anyway, so don't make that mistake. Learn from my mistake. Get magnesium glycinate or a magnesium complex. I love to actually drink my magnesium. So I do have a supplement, but for the most part, I actually just have this powder that I mix in with water, and it's kind of like a little nighttime ritual, nighttime mocktail. I highly recommend doing something like that. And it just kind of helps your little wind down routine. You know, you're getting ready for bed. Okay, let me have my magnesium and start to wind down. The Goop brand, is that what it's called? Goop? I don't know, but it's like, you know, the Gwyneth Paltrow brand. There's one that she has, a magnesium powder. I have a First Form one, but there are plenty of, you know, magnesium powders. You just want to make sure that you get a good quality one that doesn't have a bunch of additives and stuff in it. Okay, so magnesium, B vitamins, whatever calms your nervous system specifically. So this is where you are going to need to know, okay, what does your nervous system need specifically? And of course, I have Mercury Medicine, the guide, which is all about that exact topic. How to use your Mercury and Moon placement to know exactly how your nervous system prefers to regulate. It is not the same for everyone. And so you just really need to focus, and we all need to focus on nervous system specifically. Mercury rules the nervous system, and right now it's kind of fried. It just is. Okay, number 4, pay attention to what old health patterns are resurfacing. Again, they are not random. Your body is bringing them back up for final integration and healing. This is the gift of retrograde. I know it doesn't feel like a gift whenever your stomach is hurting. Like, trust me, I was experiencing that yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? But this is the gift of retrograde. If you stop fighting it and you can receive the gift of it, and you can really finally integrate that versus just like freaking out and making it worse and starting all these new protocols or supplements or going and getting these tests, labs done to see like what's wrong. Like, no, stop fighting it. Integrate it. Okay, and then number 5, build flexibility into your routines. So what worked last week or last month might not work this week. That is normal during retrograde. Stop trying to force rigid routines. Okay. And trust me, again, I'm speaking to me when I say that because I am ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is rigid. Saturn loves routine. It loves structure. It loves discipline, all of that. But if I were to just be like, I'm going to do this because it always has worked and I just need to stick to the plan. Like, that is not going to be of my highest good during this time whenever my symptoms are different than what they typically are, or I'm having symptoms that I don't normally have anymore. So, okay, these tips will work for everyone, but if you want the personalized protocol for your Mercury sign, the specific placements, the targeted body work, the exact practices that protect your vulnerabilities, your patterns, that is all in that Substack post. I will, of course, link it because, you know, Mercury in Taurus is dealing with completely different symptoms than Mercury in Aquarius, and you need your specific roadmap, not generic health advice, like so many of us are so fucking sick of getting. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. And I hope that this has been helpful. I know that it's been helpful just from what I've learned for my own journey. But if you have any questions, I would love for you to reach out, DM me, or you can text me using the link in the show notes. And yeah, like I said, grab that Substack post. I mean, $8 is so dirt cheap for all of the value that you get within my Substack, my premium posts, and Also, highly, highly, highly recommend Mercury Medicine for a closer look at specifically the actual activities and remedies, like things, exercises to do to regulate your nervous system. I go through each of the Mercury signs and houses and each of the moon signs and houses, and I literally like link exercises for you, like, or I tell you specifically like do this, do this, do this, or I give you like here's a link, do this video, like do this breath work, do this somatic movement, like stuff like that. Like I'm not just giving you concept, I'm giving you actual tangible like action steps. So it is very, very practical. Okay. Yeah. And then of course, if you are interested, you can always book a one-on-one medical astrology health blueprint reading with me. That sale is going to be over very soon. It's been 50% off since I launched it in October. So that means it's been $111 since October. It is going back up to $222. After Black Friday, like after all of the Thanksgiving and all the sales and everything, it's going to go back to full price. So if you have been wanting in on that, I highly recommend grabbing it or just paying more for it whenever. If that sounds cool to you, then cool. I love it. Okay. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day and of your week, and I will talk to you next Tuesday. If this episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend who needs it. Take a screenshot, post it to your Instagram story, and tag me at Intuitively Sydney. That's SIDNEY. I would love, love, love to see who's tuning in so I can connect with you and celebrate you. Have an amazing week, and I will talk